Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Conversations with Candace. I'm Candace and we're going to be conversing today. If you want to see me go from this to this, keep watching. I am starting off with clean and conditioned blow-dried hair. I am installing Freetress Deep Twist in 22 inches. I purchased 5 bags. I ended up using 2.5. I am also using a mesh wig cap. I use the coil cream and the finishing serum to make sure that my hair was nice and moisturized. You've seen me do this in my other videos, so I sped it up for time. I am just sectioning my hair and putting a rubber band at the base and then twisting it all the way down and putting a rubber band at the end. I believe I did 5 in the back of my head. 5 or 6. After I twisted it all, I secured it with bobby pins and then I put the mesh cap on. What I really like about this method is that my crochet won't be tight at all. It will feel so loose, nothing will be pulling. Also, my hair stays elongated and it allows the moisture of my hair to go to the very ends. While doing my hair, I listened to the Anthony Hamilton Coming From Where I'm From album. I really forgot how amazing that album was. Like, he was just so soulful and so real and so deep and so hurt on that album. But it was definitely a bop while I was doing my hair. My only other experience with this hair was when I did the video before and I cut the hair in half. Had never dealt with deep twist at this full length. So it did prove to be a little bit difficult to pull it out of the bunch. I kind of had to like pull it hard. I had to like snatch it, and even still, it was really hard to get out. But I do like how the hair spreads. So it covers a lot of area, even though it's not a whole lot of hair. The hair really tangles really easily, and somehow there's like a bonding agent in the hair that kind of keeps it all together in the pack. I guess that's to keep it from frizzing, but it was really annoying. It was really getting on my nerves having to pull it apart. I actually wasted about a pack of hair doing this. I really did make a good use of my time in with this hair by in some of the sections I put a lot of hair and then some I put a little bit. I didn't have to use tiny sections like the uh, cozy deep hair that I did. This one I only had to tie 2 knots. Sometimes I did 3 knots, but it stayed secure. At this point, I moved on to my ombre colors. I believe it's a TPB30 or something like that, but it has like a blonde in it. TP1B30. Um, I really liked it. I only got one pack, and I actually ended up like wasting hair. You see right here, it's so hard to pull apart. And when you do pull it, it frizzes and sometimes it tangles. So I was getting really, really mad. I was only able to use about half of that hair because the other one just made like this huge web of like frizzy hair, and I had to throw it away. I don't know that I will use deep twist again, but I mean, it's so cute when it's in my hair. Just the install took a lot. It took a lot of work. Maybe I'll only do it when I cut it in half. At this point, I am at the very front of my head. I like my part to go to my right. So I like the hair to go to my right. So my part is on the left. I'm just making sure the band is completely covered with hair. What I do like about this hair is that it kind of like bubbles up at the loop a little bit. So it looks like the hair is actually coming out of my head, which is the point. After the last piece, there's nothing to do but trim it. My advice to you with any type of hair, but especially hair this long, if you got it for this length and you install this length, then be very careful when you're trying to layer it or trim it because you will lose length fast. It's 22 inches long. It is a wavy pattern. The more you cut, the more it will seem like it's gone. So I cut at a down angle and I did not cut the length in the back. I left the back actually pretty long. Not full length, but almost full length. Also, if you cut your hair like in like a blunt manner, which is like straight, it'll look a little bit silly. So I would advise angling it down. And now let's go into my makeup. I used a Pond's dry skin cream. After I washed my face, I made sure to rub it in. And this stuff feels really, really good on my face. The next thing I used is Garnier Skin Active Soothing Facial Mist. I really like the way it smells and it feels really, really light too. The next thing I use is my e.l.f. Poreless Primer. It feels velvety on my skin and it really helps my makeup stay really well. It hides my pores too. Now I'm going in with my Crayon case pomade for my eyebrows in the color dark brown. The last makeup video I did, I ended up having to use a black pencil because my order from the Crayon case had not come in yet. But I love this pomade. It is so smooth. It glides on really easily. I'm not the best at doing my brows, but this pomade works out so well. Because I'm right-handed, my left eyebrow is always a hassle. I actually had to wipe it off and do it over. It probably would help if I went to get my brows waxed, and I have not gone to do that in a couple of months. So I just trim them at home, but it would probably help if I went to go get them waxed. I'm just using my spoolie and I'm brushing my hairs up and then over in the shape that I like. And now I'm going with my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color Fawn. And I'm going to outline my brows with it. At first, I used the brushes that come on the tube, but this time I'm going to use a makeup brush and I'm going to outline with that. It was a little bit easier this way. I'm learning to go and do my bottom first and then go to the top and use the corner of the brush to outline my brows and then go in with the tube and finish up. As you can see here, I'm using my fingers and a fluffy brush to blend, blend, blend. I want to blend it out so it kind of melts into my skin tone. I'm also putting some concealer on my eyelids. I want my eyeshadow to stay longer, so I'm putting a little bit on my lid. So I start off with one color lid because I have a little bit of hyperpigmentation. The next thing I'm going to do is go in with my Pro Concealer in the color Orange. I learned this trick from some of the girls on YouTube. And I'm going to color the hyperpigmentation on my cheeks. I want to cover it up, and I'm going to blend out this orange so that the dark spots don't show. And when I put on my foundation, I don't have to use as much. It is super important for me to blend this out really well. So I'm just going to pat, 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 pat for quite some time, just to make sure that it is not this tomato juice looking orange on my face, but it kind of blends out and starts to actually match my face. What I really like about this Pro Concealer is that it dries quickly. So you don't have to sit there for a long time to wait for it to dry to keep it from blending with your foundation. It'll dry quickly and you can move on to the next step. And here I am just blending some more, blending up, blending down, but trying to stay in the area of the hyperpigmentation. Now, as you can see, I did not cover it completely, but it is a little bit lighter, and that was what I was going for. So now I am going in with my foundation. It is the Maybelline FitMe Dewy and Smooth in the color 355 Coconut. And I'm putting this all over my face. I really like this foundation because when it oxidizes, it matches me really, really well. I went to Walgreens. I got a Q-tip and I put some on my neck and I blended it to see if it would match, and it matched really, really well. I'm taking care to go over all of the orange spots where I put the concealer, and as you can see, the orange does not come through the foundation at all. I did not mention, but it should go without saying, anytime you use a beauty blender, it needs to be damp. Mine was damp because I actually just washed it this morning, so it was still drying. A damp beauty blender really helps me get my foundation on my face. I have some more that are coming in the mail from BH Cosmetics. I'm really excited to use theirs because I hear that they're very, very soft. But right now, this is the only one that I have, and it is getting the job done. When I put on foundation, I like to go down my neck if I'm not wearing a high collar shirt. I want my neck and my face to blend. That's very important to me. And even if the foundation matches my skin, skin with foundation and skin without foundation look differently. So I'm just putting a little bit down my neck to make sure that blends out. The next thing I'm using is my Crayon Case Chalk Dust Setting Powder. This finally came in the mail and I'm very excited. I'm putting some on my eyelids before I put on the eyeshadow. I saw this done on a couple of videos and it made sense. I don't want the oil from my skin to come through, and that's the best way to make sure it doesn't. So now I'm going in to highlight with my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color Fawn. This is the same thing that I used on my eyebrows. And I know that I'm supposed to go in a triangle shape, but when you're looking at your reflection, like, it's just hard to remember, like, not shapes, but like not how to do it. It's just so hard to explain, but my little hands were having a tough time. Anyway, I got it done. So I went under my eyes, on my forehead, my chin, and my nose. And I am just going to blend that out. I'm using the same beauty blender that had foundation on it, so that that Fawn kind of blends into the foundation just a little bit lighter than it. I don't want it to be super, super light, and this Fawn is about 2 or 3 shades lighter than my face. I'm not going for like a crazy bright beat. I just want a little bit of highlight. At this point, I'm turning my beauty blender the other way, so some of that foundation is not at the tip. I'm going to use the tip and blend the rest. I do want my nose to be a little more highlighted, as well as my lip and my chin. And now I'm going back in with my chalk dust setting powder in the color Y. And I am putting a little bit of setting powder on each of the spots that I highlighted. I don't want the oil to come through there, and putting the setting powder on there will help that for sure. I'm not baking. I'm not going to do a whole lot. I'm just using the brush and putting a little bit on top. I don't want to be super white. I don't want to have to brush that off later. So I'm just using a teeny tiny bit to go over it. If I were going to be outside for a long, long time, then I would do that. Next thing is my True Complexion contour palette in the medium to dark shades, and I'm going in with the contour shade, and I'm putting that on my eyelid. This is the darkest shade, so this is what I'll be using on my face too, but I wanted my eyelids to match. So I'm going in on my eyelids in a circle motion as well as a windshield wiper motion, and I am layering that. I'm not adding too much. I'm just using the brush and going over, and over. Y'all, I have a pure exposed eyeshadow palette that I've had for years. I don't know where I got it from, probably a beauty supply store. But it has some cute little sparkle shades that I really like. So I'm going in with a light pink sparkle shade, and I'm just starting in the corner of my eyelid and working my way to the middle. I wasn't sure if I wanted the whole lid to have the sparkle, but I knew I wanted to build up the color. So that's why I went dark and then light. I'm just rubbing this in the same way that I did the other color, just to layer it. I'm not a master at eyeshadow, so please, if you want to skip this part, feel free. This is just how I have learned to do my shadow. I do have an eyeshadow palette coming from BH Cosmetics, and I cannot wait to use it. It should be here very soon. So I'm going back in with my Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette, and I am going to contour my face. I'm not a master at this, but I know that I wanted my contour to show up. So I put quite a bit on, and then I buffed it out in circle motions, going in a like diagonal space right above my ear to almost the corner of my mouth. And I know that this looks a little bit thick on my face, but don't worry, because we're going to go back in with some pressed powder later, and everything's going to blend great. I really love this palette so much, and it was not expensive. I found it at Walmart for about $5, maybe $6. I'm putting a little bit of that darker shade on my forehead. I have a humongous forehead, so this helps a lot. It adds depth, but it also makes my forehead look smaller. I'm going in where my double chin is, putting a little bit as well. Then the next thing I'm going to do is go to that second light shade, that second lighter shade. It's the Sculpt shade. And I'm going right above that contour, and I want it to blend. So I'm going in circle motions right on top of there, so there are no harsh lines. And this will also add a little bit of depth to my face. I'm going down the sides of my nose. I don't really need too much on my nose because I don't have a thick nose. And even if I did, I don't think that I would want to contour it. I'm black. My nose is not supposed to be pointy. So I didn't do too much there. Then I'm going in with that sculpt shade as well, and I'm putting it on the middle of my forehead and blending it out to the edges. The last thing I'm going to do is take my highlight shade and my little fan brush, put some on my cheekbones, well, a little bit above my cheekbones, a little bit down my nose, not too much. I'm also going to put some on my cupid's bow, and I'm going to put some on my chin. I will then go with my finger and smooth that out because I don't want it to look super duper harsh. I'm also putting a little bit of that highlight shade right underneath my brows. Because my hair had some blonde in it, I wanted to have some gold on my face to kind of tie that in. Now I'm going in with my very cheap Kiss eyeliner. I got it from the beauty supply store, and I'm going to line my eyes with this before going into my liquid liner. I like this because it kind of gives it like a black chalk look before the liquid. I'm going to do my top lid first. I'm getting better at not needing to hold my eye while I do that. But after this step, I'm going to go in with my crayon case, Line Me liquid liner, and just go on top of what I just lined to make it more bold and more shiny. Now, liquid liner is not something that I'm used to using. It's going to take me some time to get good at it. I don't know how to do the wing. I'm not going to try to do the wing. If you know how, that's cute. If you have a video that you can recommend to show me how to do the wing, let me know. Now I am going to go back to my Kiss liner and do my bottom waterline. You never want to do your waterline at the bottom with a liquid liner. It will get into your eye, it will burn, and that's not something that you want to do. Don't hurt your eyes in the name of makeup. So I'm just lining that bottom waterline, and I'm not doing too much because I'm then going to go in with some black eyeshadow and make it a little bit of a deeper line. So first I'm using the contour shade, and I'm going to go underneath where I just lined, underneath my eye, and that contour shade is going to be the base, and then I will put black eyeshadow on top of that shade. This is kind of my idea of like a beginner smoky eye. That my top lid is not smoky, but I did want that bottom to be smoky to kind of make my eyes stand out a little bit more. So I'm just putting a little bit of black eyeshadow on top of that sculpt shade, and I'm going to do that on both eyes. Again, I don't know where this eyeshadow palette came from. You could find one just as cheap at your local beauty like supply store or Walmart or Walgreens or something like that. Now I am going to go in with some mascara. It's the Maybelline Falsies Push Up Drama Mascara. And the only reason why I'm doing this is because I got some of the eyeshadow on my black eyelashes. So I'm putting this on, but then I'm going to put on Falsies. So my eyelashes will just blend in with these anyway. These are the Kiss Trio lashes. These are short. They're not like drama at all. You could wear these to work if you have to be like low key at work. But these are trios, so they have like three individuals that are stuck together. I like these because I have a hard time doing the whole strip, but I don't want to do individuals. And so the trios just go across my eye. I use like 4 or 5, I think. In the long ones, I use 4. I think in the short ones, I use 5, and they just add a little bit of like drama, but nothing too extra to my eyes, which I like. I like it a lot. I'm using the Black Kiss Lash Glue to put it on. I started using the black glue because I'm going to use black eyeliner and I want that glue to match my liner. Even if the white says it dries clear, I don't trust it. I'm going to use the black glue. I actually did these in record time, and I think it's because I used the two different kinds of liner, and you can't really see if I messed up or not. And the last few things I am going to do are put on my lip. This is the color Gumbo from the Crayon case. It is a matte lip. It started to dry really fast. I liked it a lot, and it does not transfer. And then I'm going to go over my face with the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless powder in the color 362. It's a little bit darker than my foundation, so that's what helps me blend everything out. And then the last step is to use my MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus setting spray. And that is it for the look, y'all. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you have tried any of these products. Until next time, see y'all later.